Welcome to French Horn Rescue. This is the only group that is designed to help you to fix the problems that have haunted your playing career throughout your entire life. And my goal is to help you to maximize your potential as a hornist, a musician, and a human being. So, just a couple of things before we get started with the content. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me today. I would really appreciate it if you like the content that I'm going to deliver today. So just make sure you actually like the goods and you like what you have to hear. Just to make sure it checks out, passes your cool meter for whether you think it's worth it. If you like it, the best thing you can do to help me to grow this group is to invite somebody else to this group. So if everybody in this group right now invited 5 people, that would increase the membership by 400 people. And so my goal is to reach 1,000 horn players and to help them with this message and to help people to improve their playing and again solve the things that have not been going well in their playing for their entire lives. And so, like I said, the fastest way for me to do that is to grow this group. And secondly, if you haven't checked out the French Horn Rescue YouTube channel, if you could head over there and like, comment, and subscribe on a video or two, that would be super helpful to me as well. I have something special planned for when I get to 50 subscribers. So right now I think I have around 20. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people in this group who haven't subscribed yet. So if you could please do that, that would really help me out and help me to deliver this content to an even greater audience. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some quick tips to improve your accuracy. So my friend Brian Nowak, shout out to Brian if he's out there, he once said, I have got 99 problems and partials are 70 of them. And so on an instrument where you can almost literally play any single note on any single fingering, so what do you do to actually improve the accuracy in this case? So here's what I think is probably the first thing that is going to just skyrocket your accuracy. You got to hear the note. So whenever I'm with a student and they are missing the note, particularly a first note, my first question to them is always, did you hear it? And so whether you're using solfege, which is my preferred method, or another way, just hearing it and singing it on law, for instance, the most important thing that is you actually hear each individual note and really as clearly as possible. So you're hearing the note in terms of the exact pitch that you want, the exact tone color you want, the exact articulation you want, dynamic, what else? The dynamic, and then the rhythm of the phrase that's coming up. And so this is going to just help you to get a really clear image in your mind of exactly what you want to do. So back in the day, horn players were actually not even allowed to take up horn playing until they did some voice study. And so I think this is so important just to be able to sing the note and to hear the note in your head before you actually go to play it. So actually, if you take a look at what Katie Woolley talks about in her interviews in Train Your Own Hero, she mentions that she never practices a phrase without hearing it exactly the way that she would like to be played in her head. And so I think if somebody who is the principal horner of the Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra does this, then you should do it too. Nobody here, including me, is above hearing what they need to, or what they want to come out the horn before they actually have it come out the instrument. And so, yeah, that is definitely the number one. And this is so hearing it. That's really the first thing. And the second one is singing it. I really am a big fan of solfege. If you have never done it before, like if you've never gone to music school and you've never learned it, it's actually something that anybody can pick up. If you want to start with the basics, just start with do re mi fa sol la ti do, and then you can learn the other color notes too. Just being able to sing a scale. I love movable solfege. I know anybody who's out there who went to Juilliard is on the fixed-o thing. Whatever works. If you find fixed-o to be really really helpful for you, then use it. If not, then try movable do. And that to me, I like movable do because it always gives you a reference, and especially on natural horn stuff, like anything that's written even if you're not playing it on natural horn. So if you're playing, let's say, a Mozart symphony, C is always do, and so that just makes things a bit easier. Even in other things that have slightly more complicated transpositions, like if you're doing a Strauss or a Verdi piece or a Wagner piece, I still think it's helpful to be able to do that when you're transposing. So the next thing that's really really important is you got to make a count in the practice room. So I personally find that playing something correctly along with a recording once or twice is more valuable than just looping it five times back to back. And especially if you're doing it mindlessly without taking the horn off of the face, to me, it's which one is more valuable. That's always what you want to ask. And so if you're just looping it back to back to back to back, is that really emulating how you're going to be doing it when you're sitting in an orchestra? Even just like sitting through the rests without a recording, or just making sure that you're putting it in the exact timing and doing it in a realistic way, I think is more valuable than just doing it even 10, 20 times in a row if you're just looping it back to back with a metronome. I love practicing with the metronome, don't get me wrong. I still think that that's the best way to get it to happen. And definitely doing stuff back to back. The more times you do it successfully in a row, but even just if we go back to the looping thing, if you're doing it, let's say you do it once really, really well, high quality, take the horn off the face, rest a second, count the rest before you come in, breathe, do it again. To me, that's more valuable than just looping it back to back five times in a row. So, either with a recording or just being really, really cognizant and aware of what you're doing when you're practicing, that's going to help to skyrocket your accuracy too. And because it really, I mean, in a performance, how many times do you have to do it in a row, right? Once, but you have to make sure that you're in the same state when you're practicing. And so even just doing some mental rehearsal and doing some vision techniques are real can be, just put yourself in that space, you know, hear the music, either with or without a recording, breathe, play. Um, Again, it's about the quality of what you're doing, not necessarily the muscle memory. The muscle memory does help, but again, you only have to do it once in a performance, right? I mean, if you're rehearsing, you have to do it several times in a row. But even in that moment, you just have to do it one time in a row. So, so just increase the quality of what you're doing in the practice room, and you'll find that the accuracy will improve. So I know I said three tips, but I'm always trying to give you guys more value than what you came for. So my fourth tip is actually something that Scott Strong actually just mentioned in one of his questions. If you're not already following Scott, he answers questions every week on Instagram and Facebook. And this is actually kind of counterintuitive, but focusing on something other than accuracy is actually helpful to your accuracy. And I think a lot of the time, if you're just focusing on hitting the note, then you don't actually get the full value. Like you don't actually get. Um, Actually, let me rephrase that. If you're just focusing on hitting the note, it becomes harder to hit the note. I don't know why. It's just I find if I am focusing on, let's say I'm in the orchestra like last night, um, I just did Lincoln Portrait and Jubilee Variation, which shout out to anybody else who's done that piece. It's not been performed very much, and then did a Haydn Mass. So for me, if I'm focusing on matching the first horn, if I'm focusing on playing with beautiful sound, if I'm focusing on my intonation, I'm focusing on my articulation, I'm focusing on my dynamics, I'm focusing on the rhythm of the orchestra and putting what I'm doing in time and in tune, then my chances for accuracy go up significantly because I'm focusing on all these other things. And accuracy is actually a little bit further down the list. Obviously, it's a prerequisite for getting everything, but to me that just it is funny. It's weird how it works. It just like it really just makes accuracy a lot easier. And you'll actually get to the point when you're playing, if you play something like a little bit out of tune, you'll consider that to be like a miss, although even though the note was technically there. And so and same thing with like articulation. If you just come in on a note and the articulation isn't quite there, even if you technically got the note, like you'll start to view that as a chip or a little bit a little bit of inaccuracy. So again, focus on the things that you can do musically and accuracy will become a lot easier. Um, of course, like, and this also is assuming that everything in your technique is going really well, and definitely you should continue to try and increase the efficiency that you're playing with, increase the skill that you're playing with, improve your technique so that everything you're doing is consistent in your breathing, when you're in your embouchure setup. But when assuming all that is there, like when if you focus on just putting all the other musical details in place, then you'll be really surprised at your results. And a lot of the times you'll get through a piece and it's cool. You'll be like, oh, I didn't actually miss anything, or a whole page, and then usually you'll miss the next note once you realize it. So that's another thing too, is just getting outside of your head once you realize things are going well, and not letting yourself be tricked into having unnecessary mistakes. So, like I said, I was gonna keep this one a short one, just giving you guys three to four quick tips that can help you to improve your accuracy right away. And yeah, if you have any other comments and if you have any other tips that you enjoy for getting a more accurate performance, definitely put them in the comments below. If you're interested in improving your accuracy with me, and if you're interested in working on a more individualized level, just reach out to me. I do have a year-long coaching program for anybody out there who's interested, and I love to see you and help you to improve your accuracy, your overall technique, and your fundamentals, so that you can become every bit of the horn player that you want to be in this world. So. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, especially to the new members again. My name is Luke Dickow. And once again, if you could if you enjoyed this video, please invite a friend or 5 or 10 and help to grow this group. I want to reach 1,000 horn players with this message by the end of the year. And also head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So, all right, thank you so much for joining. And this is Luke Dickow signing off.